All right, we got 2 more tier 1 variants here. 2 more. Tumor variants. It's not a tumor. Let's get going. Go fast. Not a tumor. Justin said he's willing to appear on community Q&A. Really? I almost don't want that. Not because like, look, the time Justin's taking to do another stream is time he could just be sitting down and fixing Naran. You got to remember this, folks. Like, anytime this is why, I mean, they commit to streams every week, but okay, like they're like, okay, this is important and we're getting good feedback. We're going to commit to this. Good. But too many could be a problem. Too many could be a problem. Make Jackson the revenge for Garraware. Garraware. Yeah, that's what he was calling me the other day. I think Garraware was his revenge for me making comments he didn't like in chat. I'm like, well, you say this, but then you did this, and it's stop holding me accountable for my actions. Oh yeah, because you got Cathris farming in the background, they give you buffs for them. Yeah, it's they have smart systems looking at it, but a system's only as smart as its programming, right? Which is what I just want to be clear. That's what AI is. That's what everybody that calls things AI nowadays. It's just a smart piece of software, and it's only as smart as it's been programmed, which is not very. Not very. I'm fine with lists. I can make lists. They just at some point have to work off the lists. They need to process the stuff on the list. Yeah, you tried out Midnight Suns? It was free on Epic. It was like a $60 game that was free on Epic. I heard some people say it was a really great game, and I heard other people say, man, you're watching a lot of like cutscenes or something? I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing up games. Yeah, that's the thing, Bard's Forge. Most people dump characters they're not using in their background parties. The devs don't process that well. It slowed a lot of cinematics. Yeah, that was That's what that was what I heard. But I also heard as if you have the patience to play through it, it's good. But again, games can be all kinds of things, and games can be movies. I mean, look, we can go all the way back to Dragon's Lair, the arcade game in the 80s, early 90s. Was it late 80s, early 90s? Dragon's Lair was basically a movie that you played. So Pong was a rom-com. Dragon's Lair was a quarter eater, and it wasn't even a single quarter eater. It was like the first game that cost 50 cents, if I remember correctly. Man, it was for rich people. It was for rich people who had a roll of quarters in their pocket. It wasn't that they were happy to see you. That was a roll of quarters in their pocket. Pac-Man was basically the original Ghostbusters. Oh my god, somebody should do that. You know those memes where it's like, I'm going to tell my kids that this was X? Like, someone needs to put up a thing of Pac-Man on it. I'm going to tell my kids this was the original This was Ghostbusters. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I think the worst part about Pac-Man is that the story is that the designer of it literally got the idea for Pac-Man from looking at a partly eaten pizza, and I'm like, that's a little too cheesy even for me. Like, really? Keep that to yourself. Needs to be too cheesy. See, now I'm going to take this literally. I mean, arguably, yes. Good food is all about the balance of ingredients. So you have to have good ratios. I feel like when food and drinks get out of the right ratios, things go wrong quickly. Doesn't mean some people can't enjoy it there, but generally you're missing the mark somewhere. That being said, I do like a lot of cheese on my pizza. Like most places, for most places, I'd probably go, just can I get double cheese, and then it's finally in a place where I want it. But I don't think I've ever gotten like triple cheese. I remember the Pac-Man. It had the marbles, right? You had to set the little marbles in the little divots. Is that the one we're talking about? I don't think I had it, but I think I remember playing it. I had a portable Pac-Man game. Let me see if I can find it. It's the one thing from my childhood I truly wish I still had. And one day I may just have to I may have to break down and buy one. I don't even care if it doesn't need to work. I just want to set it. I just want it setting somewhere. Just for the memories. This is it. It's the Tomitronic Pac-Man game. This was actually my parents gave, either my parents or my grandparents gave it to me for Christmas. It's just, yeah. I had an off and on setting, as you can see, an amateur and a pro, and it was not Pac-Man, but it was I mean, you look at that image, that's not Pac-Man, but instead of throwing lots of quarters in a machine somewhere, like I could play that anywhere I wanted. The closest you could get to Pac-Man back then. Oh, there's some pretty cool. Look at this. Now there's some pretty cool Pocket Pac-Man games. I mean, it's full on too. But yeah, the little round, I totally love to have that on the shelf. Yeah, an OG Game Boy. I didn't have one back then, but then ended up with one in a lost and found from somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. I might still have it somewhere. I think it was missing the battery cover. I don't know what I did with it. Honestly, all I'd play on it would be Tetris, if I'm being honest. It's like I would love a good. I've got one of the. Which one did I get? I got one of the little Nintendos. I think I got the Super Nintendo. Yeah, no, I still need to get the Super Nintendo one. I have this. The little NES Classic Edition. We've never played this on stream, but one day. Maybe one day. Yeah, because it's got good games on it. The original Castlevania. The original Donkey Kong. It's got Dr. Mario. It's got Excite Bike. I used to play a lot of Excite Bike. Ghosts and Goblins. That was good. Played a lot of that. Kid Icarus. I remember that. I don't know that I played a lot of it. It's got the OG Mario Brothers. It's got the OG Metroid, the OG Ninja Gaiden. It's got Pac-Man. It's got Punch-Out. Although it says featuring Mr. Dream. Is that not Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Did they change it? I don't know. The OG Mario Brothers, and then it's got Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. It's got Tecmo Bowl and the original Zelda. Oh god, folks, we got to play the original Zelda on stream at some point. I don't remember that game. I mean, I remember it. I remember playing it. I could play that again. It would be like playing it for the first time. We gotta at some point. At some point, we got to do that. I still need to find. I don't know if you can still get the Super Nintendo version. I got lucky and got the regular Nintendo version somehow. Yeah, there are some arcades still that exist, but most of the time it's just a Dave and Buster's, right? Like standalone arcades don't really. Here's a few. The rest of the time it's Dave and Buster's, and then it isn't even like they've got some decent they've got some arcade games, and then the rest is like, hey, this is stuff you'd play on your phone, but now you have to pay to win items from. Like, I don't know. There's also some there's probably more pinball arcades now. They removed Mike Tyson? Okay. Hopefully they just reskinned it and it's still the same mechanics. Will I be going through any of the Tier 4 1600 variants on stream? No, probably not. Because it isn't... Here's the thing. Me doing it on stream, like even if you copied my formation, doesn't mean you'd do it. That's the problem when you get to Tier 4. It's super subjective. Yeah. Question: When's Zelda stream? I don't know. I gotta finish this before we can do more streams, folks. I don't remember the original Street Fighter. I just remember whatever one came out on the Super Nintendo that I bought and mastered. And I do mean mastered. I kicked everybody's butt at that game. I could beat the hardest difficulty without taking any damage. I may have spent too much time playing that game. Oh yeah, no, there's hardcore pawns. There's people that stream pinball on Twitch, and they have an overhead camera, and then they have one overhead, and then they have one showing the scoreboard, and they just stream. I think it's great. I think Mr. Dream is probably, since it says Punch Out with featuring Mr. Dream. Mr. Dream must be the final boss. because he puts you to sleep. I'm guessing is the joke. Run out of. But yeah, I had friends that got all the way to Mike Tyson as a kid, like when we were kids. Keep freaking out because this is not my normal water bottle. And so I reach over and I feel something that doesn't feel like my normal water bottle, and I'm like, "What the hell?" After he took a bite from Holyfield's ear, I remember watching that live from a bar in Mexico. Like I was going to school in Mexico at the time, and everybody went out to watch the fight, and yeah, and then we're like, "Did that just happen?" It's like, ooh, wow, way to make our country look bad, Mike. Everyone in the bar was like, "What?" I was like, "No, we're Canadian, actually." Like that's where you're like, "Nope, not American right now in another country." I mean, look, you take that many hits to the head, you're always gonna have issues. But that was a bit a bit over the top. Wasn't he gonna fight somebody that I don't like? Did this happen yet? Postponed. November 15th. I was like, wasn't that supposed to happen? Has it been canceled now? I'm looking at an article and it says, "Oh, from today." Wow, this is well timed. From today. New date, November 15th. I guess Tyson had a medical issue. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. He had an ulcer, apparently, and his doctors didn't want him training with it. And he's going to be 58 when he fights that dumbass. 31 years older. See what happens. We shall see. Probably be I don't even know. I don't know if I'll watch it, but I'll watch highlights of it if it goes well. If it goes well. We're back. We're back. Did I make it through Critical Role last night? No. I watched. Normally, I watch to the break and then I go to bed. So that's what I did. So I will watch the rest either tonight or tomorrow night. Mike Tyson is 50. It will be 58 at the end of this month. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's still not somebody I would step into a ring with. Ugh. There we go.